double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah, we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack, this like I'm Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah, we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You, man. This week, the weekend recap is free because we did not do a pod last Friday. I don't even remember why we didn't do a pod. We just didn't do a pod. I know there was a reason for it, but I don't fucking remember. Anyway, it's your guys here, Scott, Dante, and Bang. Of course, you can follow us on social media at Barberchair Scott, at JR Bang, at October's Own Tay. Follow the Barberchair Network at Barberchair Co. At H&B Media, at INGHY Show on all social media platforms as well. All the links to where you can listen to the audio, everything is all in the description box. All the socials in the description box. The Patreon is in the description box. If you're too lazy to click any of them, you know I got you with the QR code right here on the screen. Subscribe to the Barberchair Network Patreon, man. Been dropping a lot of stuff on there. We're going to continue to drop that. And also, while you're at it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, man. Shout out to everybody who subscribed to the YouTube channel. Trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of football season. We at like 430 right now. I got like 30 new subscribers over the weekend. Shout out to y'all who really enjoyed the episode I did with Robert Mays of the Athletic Show. We talked Bears. We talked NFL playoffs. If you missed that, it is still available right now. So if you're watching this right now, it's streaming, but this is not live, okay? This is pre-recorded. So if you in the chat, we're not reading that shit. This was an hour and a half before this has been aired. So we're not ignoring you. We streams get higher views. So that's why we streaming it. Anyway, man. Yeah, so we got a lot to talk about, a lot of Bear stuff to talk about. We got some non-Bear stuff to talk about as well. But very crazy weekend for the Bears. Oh, I forgot that. How y'all feeling, man? It's just Christmas
I'm
week.
solid, bro. I had to, I took the hat off today. I threw the do-rag on for my boy DJ Moore. Big day from DJ. Had to show bro love. So I'm feeling good, bro.
Feeling good as well as Christmas week. You know what I'm saying? This is in my mind. I want you to be free.
I want to be free.
And this is the week you can play that song. Like you can't play that until Christmas week. So they're feeling good. You know what I'm saying? On PTO as well. So hey,
okay. Hey, man. It's a lot of good TV out. Fallout is back, season 2.
It is back. I was trying to figure out what to watch today.
We got 2 new episodes of Landman and Mayor of Kingstown. So I'm finna tap in on those. So
I gotta tap in on Kingstown.
Man.
I am so behind on every show, and that's because bro, I got it in my watch list, but with NFL, with the Bears actually being good, and I've been watching, I watch soccer. Arsenal playing every 3 days now. I don't have the time.
Fam, your ass be up early in the morning.
Them 5 a.m. bro. Them 5 a.m. matches be hell.
I wake up if it's so Saturday. I was at on Saturday. What was I? I was at Joe got a new crib. I was at Joe crib. Nice crib, by the way. It's very nice. Yeah, very, very nice crib. He's North Side flows now. As he reminded me multiple times that day. He said, "Yeah, we don't do that like you South Side Negroes over there." That's what he told me multiple times. But So yeah, I wake up on Saturdays. I wake up around 5:30. But I go to bed at like 10, so I can be up for the entire slate of Premier League football. Even though Arsenal didn't play till 2 p.m. on Saturday, but so they've been playing every other day, and I watch multiple leagues. So I'm so far behind on my shows. Once the NFL season's over, I'll be able to kind of like dig into it a little bit more.
Scott, I know you're a documentary head, and I watched it just because it's a documentary. But that Elway doc was the worst football documentary that I've ever seen.
It's that bad?
Fam, is that bad, bro?
First of all, it's bad. Part of the reason why it's bad because it's quick, like it's fast, not as a quick watch. They just zoom the shit. It's just like they barely talked about college. They barely talked about like, he hate Terry Bradshaw. We knew that then, and all of that stuff. We knew that when they went to the Super Bowl because they're like, oh, it might be awkward and all of that stuff. You didn't learn nothing. It was literally a waste of time watch. And they moved on from stuff so quickly. It made John Elway the most boring quarterback superstar of all time, in my opinion. Don't watch it.
And speaking of documentaries, because we've been going for a while, the Puff doc. I want to say this. I want to say this.
Bullshit in there, but I loved it.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. This is why we need to continue to fight to keep physical media and keep archives. And I'm so glad that Toure, who I usually don't agree with shit he say, I love the fact that Toure got on there and said, wait. I actually interviewed Tupac. Yeah. We know who shot Tupac. Jimmy Hemsmith shot Tupac. He told you and hit him up who shot Tupac. Just different things that were in there that it was easy for them to make the innuendo because they know the young people don't research anything anymore. So, you have people now thinking that Puff killed Biggie and Tupac. Like it's just insanity, but it's like this is why we need to fight to keep these records in these archives, bro, because you need to be able to look this shit up and point people in the right direction because people are easily misled.
Yeah, in college I was a Bad Boy Death Row documentary fiend. Like I was finding all of them. But when I moved to Los Angeles, the first three things I learned. 1, the air smells like smog. 2, do not wear White Sox hats. And 3, I learned who killed Biggie and Tupac from people who were actually there. Okay. So I was telling my homegirl and she was not trying to listen to me. No, it makes sense. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. That's what the point of production is. They want you to believe this. And this, like I said, this is not me taking Puff off the hook. There's enough dirt on Puff that you can fit in 10 episodes of documentary.
Of course.
That didn't need to include this. The fact of the matter is this. Jimmy Henchman set up Pac in New York. Now, do I believe that Biggie didn't know about it? No, I do believe Biggie knew. And I do believe that was part of why they had the friction. Because he's like, yo, this your city and you ain't going to tell me people trying to blow my head off? So that I agree. But the Pac shooting, it's not funny. Obviously, somebody died. But it was funny because it's over a death row chain getting stolen in Lakewood Mall. like 2 months prior. And Pac said, if we run into them, we rush them. Somebody came to Pac and said, oh, dude who stole the chain downstairs. So Pac stole it off of Baby Lane, shot Tupac, killed him, and then somebody killed Baby Lane 2 weeks later in Compton. Like it wasn't long after that. There was a I think they call it like Hell Month or something in Compton where they like killing people for like 30 days.
They're going crazy.
And like it was a lot of people getting killed after Nipsey got killed too. I ain't gonna divulge them too much, but this is just regular LA politics. Puff knew the Crip. Yeah, they were extorting him. Okay, the Compton Crips were extorting Puff, and the Biggie
was checking in.
Right, he was checking in. Right, Biggie was killed by LAPD who were hired by Suge Knight. Okay, like so, this ain't got nothing to do with Diddy. Diddy done a lot of stuff. Now, what was crazy though, the Rolling Stone thing, I believe, making Big pay for his own funeral out of his money of the contract days. I also believe that. Everything else I don't believe, but production value, that was good, pretty good documentary.
Yeah, it was very well put together. It had a great timeline. Like I don't want to diss the doc completely, but I want to really. It was more so about some of the reactions that we're seeing people post, and I know we joke about it a lot, but like in terms of history and what actually happened. Like these things are easy to look up, and you can
Yeah.
find the truth. So like,
Well, people don't look up stuff, man. People don't look up stuff. People don't know nothing. It just is what it is. But I pretty much watched I love the Eddie Murphy documentary. Eddie documentary was great.
Yes.
Really enjoyed
Amazing.
that one. The Pryor and Cosby puppets had me dying laughing. I'm trying to think what else I've seen. I watched F1 again last week.
I just watched
Still
it for the
love
first time. That was great.
Still love it. Still loved it. I watched it with my pops. He was on the edge of the seat.
Speaking, hey, back on that Eddie doc. Can I get back on my soapbox real quick? Just 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
Just
Go
2
ahead. No,
seconds.
go ahead. We ain't done the warm up in a while. So go ahead.
Let's respect our legends, man. Like when we got them and they still here and they still have all their faculties and they can sit there and tell you these amazing stories. I saw a lot of people talking about, why he didn't mention what happened in LA when he picked up the trans. I'm like, come on, bro. We don't have to do that. Like this is one of the documentaries of
And it's
a living legend.
Yeah,
a living legend is willing to participate. He hasn't gotten into any trouble. He's, like you said, one of the greatest to ever do it. Let him do his thing and let us really recap this and enjoy it. Like it was a lot of dope stuff in that documentary.
And you know what? Considering watching the documentary, I believe him. After watching the documentary, I believe him. I believe him. I'm just trying to help. Like this dude is Eddie Murphy has to be the most famous person who knows he's famous, but don't care. He famous. He said something in the documentary.
Well, Chappelle said it the best. The best thing he did was survive being Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, it was one thing that Eddie Murphy said in the documentary that let me know that he knows how famous he is, and he don't give a shit. Because he said he don't make no decisions without thinking about his kids. When have you ever heard anybody in Hollywood in a documentary, in a Barbara Walters interview, in an award show, say that? Never. He's literally the first person that I heard say that's in that role that said, I don't make a decision without thinking about my kids first. Everybody's like, yo, the ego in them make them think that they have to do what they have to do and they ain't got to worry about this and they ain't got to worry about that. It's all about, no, he said, I don't make no decision without my kids, thinking about my kids. And also, he's the nigga that kept Ridiculous on for years. This nigga was watching that shit religiously. That and YouTube. This nigga see shit on YouTube and be like, oh man. Like Eddie Murphy, to me, that documentary was probably one of the best of the year that I've seen. Strictly off of the fact that like you learn so much about him and you also learn that he don't take himself seriously at all. He's seriously just a regular dude that just so happens to be hugely famous, but he does not take himself seriously.
And he's an introvert. He said himself. He said, "Y'all saw me with Prince and what's my man name? Rick James." He said, "I would go home after that shit." He said, "I wouldn't stay after that. I would go home." That was good. I'm trying. There's a documentary on the dude who ran AC Milan for a while, but he was very heavy in Italian politics. It's on ESPN. I forgot the name of it. I watched the first episode. It was pretty good. The Stuart Scott documentary almost made me cry, bro. I almost lost it at the end, bro.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's a beautiful doc. I still got to see the Scorsese doc on Apple TV. It was decent.
It was good. Not a little bit less than what I expected, but it was good. But the Stuart Scott one, nigga, when they played the Donny Hathaway, me and my wife lost it. They showed the pictures.
At the end, bro, yeah, man. There's a lot of stuff I gotta watch. I got a full list. I watched the first episode of Mayor Kingstown new season. I didn't get to finish it. So after this
all over that prison.
after this episode, we will not be doing another episode until, let me look at the calendar, until New Year for sure. We got the calendar. So the next episode we'll be doing will be January 9th. So the weekend of Wild Card Weekend.
Bang, they didn't play the Donny Hathaway song I think they played, didn't they?
Yeah, they played a song for you.
Yeah, they played that one.
Fuck.
Yeah, bro. And they got his daughters took actual pictures of him on his last day. That's what killed me, bro.
And that's my favorite Donny Hathaway song too.
Yeah.
Where they played that joint, I was like, okay, y'all on bullshit. So who did this?
It was very well done.
I looked at my wife, I said, somebody on bullshit. Who did this? Who did this? Who decided to play that song at the end? You knew what you were doing. Also, I mean, even though we kind of knew listening to the backstage politics at ESPN and how like ESPN execs was like, nah, we don't want that. We don't want him. Like he was really, you really learned, or at least I really learned that he was the transition. Like legit, him. Yeah. He was the transition. Once, what was that? The Atlanta, the Olympic bombing. Once the Olympic bombing happened and they had to put him on there, it was like, okay, we got something here. And things changed the moment that they said that. But it took fight in order for that to happen too. That was wild.
Yeah, and it showed all the doors opening, which lead to people getting, you know, how big Stephen A got, made me think how big Stephen Scott could have did, you know, with controlling his own platform. You see how big Rich Eisen got and things like that. But it was a good documentary. I also got an Apple Watch this weekend. I wanted to realize how long I've been living my life without one. I don't understand. It's kind of like when I got an iPad a couple years ago. I was like, I haven't living life without an iPad. What I've been doing? So just another device that will take our attention. But anyway, let's get into it. Glad we were able to do it. We ain't did a warm-up in a minute when we just kicked the shit. So like I said, this will be the last episode until January 9th. We'll be back the weekend, the day before Wild Card Weekend. We will know all the playoff matchups. Because after today, as soon as I get ready uploading this, in the words my PTO is on, my phone will be on D&D for the next 12 days. I will not be doing anything but drinking alcohol and chilling. That's all I'm going to be doing. If you see me out on Wednesday night, I'll be the dude dressed like a Chicago Bears mannequin. Okay, so that's what it's going to be. But anyway, speaking of the Bears clinched the playoff spot this week. Now, technically, it's the first time since 2020, but I'm going to say it's first time since 2018 because I care nothing about what happened in that COVID season in any sport. that's not real sports.
We made the playoffs in 2020.
2020, we were the 7th seed in the first year of the Super Wild Card round.
Was that the double dunk? Oh no,
that was 2018.
Yeah, 2020 is when we played. When we backed our way into the playoffs.
Yeah,
with the 7th seed.
We played the Saints for 5.
Yeah,
we backed our way into the playoffs.
What?
Yeah,
because somebody lost and we got in there.
Yeah,
somebody was crazy, bro. I don't even remember that.
That's my point. That's why I don't count it. It was an empty stadium game against the Saints. Empty stadium game against the Saints. And the messed up part is they could have won that game. I don't think the score was I think it was a close score, if I'm not mistaken. It was January 2021. It was the year that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. Tom Brady first year with the Bucs. That's what it was. So
who was our quarterback?
It was Mitch.
It was Mitch.
Because
what the fuck?
Yeah.
I know we've been cussing too much. Sorry, people, but
because remember, Mitch lost his job to Foles, and then Foles lost his job again, and Mitch was terrible in the postseason game. And then that's when they said that was the last game Mitch played for the Bears. They drafted Justin a couple months later.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, we was the last seed. Again, they kept saying, we don't trust the Bears because they backed their way into the playoffs.
Which is very true. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, this is the first playoff appearance of 2018. I don't care nothing about that 2020 season. So Bears clinched playoffs. I don't know about y'all. I felt dirty, but slightly satisfied rooting for Aaron Rodgers yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, this is what it feels like being on the other side.
Yeah. Anything to further my agenda, I'm with it. So
right.
I don't.
Now,
I told you, I stopped hating him years ago.
It's only because he's a Steeler. If he was a Packer, I'd have I don't want it that bad. I don't know if y'all remember this. Remember 2012, the Bears beat the Packers to beat the Vikings to make the playoffs that year. And me and the homie Mike, I told Mike, I don't want it that bad. I hope the Vikings beat the Packers. I don't want it that bad. And the Vikings beat the Packers. I think the Packers kind of, threw the white flag down. Man, fuck the Bears. Yeah, they were like, fuck the Bears. But anyway, shout out to everybody who understood my Stone Cold Vincent Mann reference that I tweeted out last night about saying that was why I like rooting for Aaron Rodgers. But Bears clinched playoff spot. So at the absolute worst, they will be the 7th seed, but so many things have to happen for them to drop to the 7th seed. First of all, before we get to the actual game, thoughts on the Bears making the playoffs? Because we know we did our preseason predictions. Bang, you weren't wrong last year. You were just a year early.
Right.
In your wins prediction. You were just a year early.
I was just a year early, you know what I'm saying? Greatness and people like me, sometimes we're more earlier than we are late. And in this case, I was early. Look, man, I was telling my wife, this is how excited I am. So y'all could get and understand this. This is where I'm at in my excitement bag. I was talking to my wife this morning, and y'all want to know what I did? I showed her, to me, the only 2 times in my lifetime where I felt like the atmosphere met the moment. I showed her 1986, January 1986, the NFC Championship
game with the
Bears versus Rams when the snow came down. That epic NFL Films, Steve Sable presents the voiceover, the slow motion.
Was that Wilbur Marshall who got the
pick?
Yes,
that
was.
Otis Wilson. That was Wilbur. Yeah. That was Richard Dink who got the sack. It was Wilbur Marshall who got the ball.
I saw him on Saturday. He was in the house trying to give Gervon some tips. It didn't work, but shout out to him.
Man, but I still got faith in Gervon. But I showed her that, and then I showed her 2007 NFC Championship game.
The greatest day of my life.
The snow
greatest
again.
Day of my life, bro.
The snow again. And I told her when Reggie Bush did that flip in the end zone, everybody was like, "Oh, we whooping their ass after this." Like he doing too much. He doing too much. Yeah. Now I don't know where I was in 1986, but in 2007, I was just getting off of work at Best Buy. The snow came down. I get a call like, "Y'all, you see what happened?" Like, "Yeah, yo, we excited. We going to the Super Bowl." Boom, boom, boom. Even though that's not the NFC Championship, that to me matched that moment, because I don't think that moment was just about beating Green Bay. I think that moment was about, I know we got our quarterback, and even though it is Green Bay and you got that aura, normally when we're down that amount at that time, game is over. There's nobody in the world that I think was like, we still got a chance, but Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, and the Chicago Bears. And they came back in an epic fashion against Green Bay. But to me, it represented a turning point. To me, it represented that, look, we have hope, or we had hope, but now we have confidence to go along with that hope. So while it might not have been an NFC Championship game and all of that stuff, I think it represented the fact that we can have confidence in this team going forward and not be all doom and gloom and all that shit. We got a quarterback, we got our coach, we got 2 good running backs, our offensive line is straight, defense is capable of doing what they need to do. We're going to be okay. And when was the last time we all said, we gonna be okay? We just talked about 2 years of playoffs. We talked about 2018, where we was like, okay, we'll see next year, and how 2020 we backed our way into the playoffs. We was never confident then. Now we are. That represents that change. It's a new era coming.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I know this is somebody who picked them to win 6 games to start the season. I'm extremely excited about what I'm seeing, and the fact that they have 11 wins and the Bears have been the most injured team in football. That speaks a lot to the coaching and to the mentality of, the next man up and people doing their job. Even with
don't tell Packers fans that Dante, we allegedly beat their practice squad according to
ridiculous. Ridiculous. We won't even get into the way they were talking. But man, like I think I tweeted it. I was like, I know a lot of people back home have been comparing this to the 2015 Cubs, but like that game in particular really felt like the Arizona they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook game. Like it felt like that type of vibe, not only because it was a primetime game, but just the fact that we watched the comeback, and when there were so many things that broke our way, whereas we always get turnovers, that's what we do. But the onside kick recovery, Caleb, as much as the final throw has been talked about, the fadeaway to the back corner of the end zone was insane. on a zero blitz, on a cover zero blitz. And to see him continue to do this in clutch moments, that's what gives me the confidence that really anything can happen. Like I've gone from saying, all right, 6 wins, I don't expect them to win much, to, like I said, last time we recorded, this team could potentially win out. Like they could go 3-1, or they could be 2-1, or they could win out. It's really like that. But the more Caleb does it in these big moments, man, the more you got to just say, hey, we got our guy. Like I love the fact that the downfield completions have been a lot better. He's looked a lot more accurate down the field, which, it's funny. Every time Ben Johnson has pointed to something he wanted to see get fixed, has gotten fixed. That just proves that they're actually in the building, not just, I know, Scott, a lot of times you would talk about how Eberflus would come up and give y'all the word salad. Like Ben Johnson is telling you things, applying it.
They ain't even had a schedule updated in the damn hallway doing
Eberflus. Bro. So exactly. So it's just a different, different energy, and I love it. So like, man, it was crazy. That game, I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's one of the best games I've seen in a very long time.
Bang, I'm gonna take what you said and just kind of piggyback off how I feel. And I have been a Bears fan 25, 26 seasons. My first coherent season as a Bears fan was the 2001 year, the 13-3 year where we were just winning games in a dumbass fashion. And Donovan McNabb walked us down in Soldier Field before they made the renovations, the old Soldier Field. That was the number 3. That was the number 3 most happy I've been as a Bears fan, number 3 moment. But in my opinion, the most important moment as a Bears fan. And that's why the peak of my Bears fandom is from the moment Robbie Gould hit that game-winning field goal of the Seattle Seahawks overtime game in 2006 to the moment Devin Hester ran that kickback in the Super Bowl. Those 2 plays and that one NFC Championship game is the peak of my Bears fandom. But like you just said, Bang, no matter how excited we got about 2018, 2006, 2005, it was always the question, can the offense score enough points to back up their defense? Can the quarterback not mess it up? Whether that was Jim Miller, whether that was Rex Grossman, whether that was Kyle Lorton, whether that was Jake Cutler, whether it was Mr. Trubisky, whether it's Justin Fields, whatever. I always believed in Caleb, but what I watched a lot of USC. I watched pretty much all of USC's career living in USC's backyard. So Caleb was on Carl's Jr. commercials as soon as he got there. So I feel like I followed his whole career almost. And what makes me happy and excited as a Bears fan is there's no shadow of a doubt that this is the guy, and he's gonna get better. I don't know if y'all seen the chart to compare him and Jordan Love's numbers together. They actually have the same amount of touchdowns now, same amount of interceptions. I think Jordan Love might have 100 yards more than him, but that's just because a lot of Caleb's receivers like to drop balls. Okay, Caleb would get 4,000 yards if it wasn't for OZ and Cole and Rome's drops. It's just that simple. But I'm gonna take y'all through that day. I was not feeling good, bro. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. All my, I come up here and preach about media help me being, all that went out the window, bro. I was that nervous Chicago Bears fan that I have been every day until I got my credential. And I was crashing out that entire day. First of all, the drive to there, my brother's apartment is like 30 minutes away from Soldier Field in regular traffic. It took us an hour to get there. Okay. And when we left at like 5:30, the game started at 7:30. We didn't get to our seats till 7 o'clock, bro. So cracking, I've never seen that. It was the energy, like you just said, Ben. How many times has the moment, the atmosphere lived up to the moment? And it's been
years.
The building was just unreal. Like the playoff towels and, Tom on there, Jennifer Hudson there, all the 85 Bears are there, Seth Rollins in the house. I actually credit Seth for part of the comeback because he was the only one in the crowd.
I have a Seth Rollins-esque story for Summer Sessions when we back. Please don't let me forget.
Cool. And I won't let you forget that on the funeral story.
It's involved.
It was involved. That's that. I can only imagine what that is. But So it was just a different vibe, and I was nervous, bro. I was nervous the whole time. And if you follow my Twitter account during that game, I was absolutely crashing out. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. Group chat was me, Bang, Dante, and Mikey absolutely losing it, and Courtney realized and said, "Oh, it's not that bad." No, it is. My life is ending right now. And even when Jordan Love left it and Malik Willis started diming us up, I was like, I told Joe and Herb, it don't matter what quarterback they have. They always do this to us, bro. And I'm losing it to the point my brother had to like tell me, like, yo, just relax, calm down. We have your professional. I wasn't trying to hit none of that shit. Like when the onside kick happened, I was actually mad. I was mad.
Me too.
I told Gino, I was like, Gino, I was like, why they keep doing this to me? Just stop giving us hope. My misery. Right. Just take me out of my misery. And you know, Gino's like, oh, they finna go for the okie doke, Joe. Like, nobody thought the Bears was winning that game. Like, even the Jade touchdown, I was like, okay, we going to overtime. I was yelling, go for two. I was like, we go to overtime, they finna run us.
Yeah.
Go for two. I kept saying that. And I literally didn't believe they were winning that game until they actually won that game. But this is what on the I don't know how I looked on TV when the ball went in the air. Like, obviously I saw the play, but like in the moment, from the press box view, first of all, the Jade touchdown, I thought he was throwing it out of bounds. Like, I thought it was a terrible throw until I watched the TV view. I was like, that is an incredible ball. But from the press box, it looked like he was throwing that joint out of bounds. But on the DJ throw, he went back. When I saw DJ come on, I'm like, that's 7. I was like, all he got to do is catch it. Perfect placement. And then when he caught it, I swear to God, it's like the entire building froze. And my brother said louder than anybody, did he catch it? And the entire press box lost it. There's not a person in there who could tell you they wasn't reacting or cheering. If they tell you they wasn't, they are a liar. I'm talking about from the most quiet, reserved media members. Packer beat reporters like, what is going on? And bro, when I tell you I blacked out, I heard silence. You know how they say white noise? You know how Kobe Michael Jordan like kind of say, oh, when it's a clutch, you don't hear anything. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear the screams. I didn't hear nothing, bro. I blacked out. I couldn't even. I didn't yell or high five. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then it's like the blackout was like for like 10 seconds, and the building felt like it was shaking, bro, like a legit earthquake. And I heard 60,000 strong sing "Bear Down Chicago Bears" in unison. It was an amazing moment, man. Like, I know that if you're not a Bears fan, you probably think we going too hard on a regular season game. You might see the Packers again in a couple weeks. You
don't understand.
Like, you don't understand, bro. And I spent legit. I didn't go to bed till 5 a.m. that night, bro. I got home at 12:30. I didn't go to bed at 5 a.m. because I spent 4 hours looking at reactions on TikTok and Instagram of people responding to the game. And everybody was awake. I had people text me at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, like, oh, I can't go to sleep. If you're not a Bears fan, you don't understand. This moment wasn't about the Packers. This moment wasn't about us, being one step closer to the playoffs. This moment was about we finally have what we've seen other fan bases have. I don't know what the moment was for Patriots fans when they realized Tom Brady was the one, and I'm not comparing him to the GOAT, obviously. And speaking of the GOAT, Tom Brady, like Mike said, the Botox couldn't hide his happiness.
He loved him. He loved him.
And he was like proud dad.
Bro, and this I know Tom, like when I went to the locker room, I've done 4 games at Tom Brady's cover. I never seen him. And I told my man Josh, I was like, yo, I always never see Brady down here. He was like, you missed him by 30 seconds. He just walked past it. I was mad as hell. But he was out there signing autographs. But it was just like, I don't know the moment when people know when their quarterback. I don't know when Chiefs fans knew they got one. If anybody had any question marks, I think Caleb answered those.
But see, I think that adds to why that game was so important. Because when have we ever had a situation where we knew we had that person? In my lifetime, I'm older than each of y'all. I've never had a moment where I said this was the guy. Even when we had Kyle Orton, who was looking decent, we was like, that ain't enough. And we was like, yo, we got Jay Cutler, and Jay Cutler cool and all, but
we love the potential of Jay. Jay had Hall of Fame talent.
Right. We loved the potential. Yeah. And it was some of those moments where we were like, yo, we ain't never seen this. But then the next game, he'd tweet and look like he don't care. we've never had, I'll say for me, I never had a situation where I looked at a game, saw a moment, and was like, yo, we set for the next 15 years at quarterback.
And I feel like we sat for the next decade at coach. And look, I thought Ben Johnson called a terrible game. I'm not letting him off the hook by any means. I said this on 79th and Hallis. If you want more of a game-by-game breakdown, go listen to that. Because they be just talking about the atmosphere, the emotions, and everything like that. But I told my brother, let's not get the win. I love the win. But if we play like that, we getting our ass kicked the rest of the way. So you can't play like that no more, okay? Don't do that. But despite that, I felt like we got our guy coach. Like, you know, this is different. I kept comparing it to 2018. And I was like, 2018 was a different feel because only thing about 2018, I was 100% confident that defense was elite. You know what I'm saying? That defense was elite. I called Matt Nagy out 8 weeks to the season. Everybody called me a madman. I said, this ain't it. This ain't it. I was like, with Mitch, it was let's just hope he can just be okay enough. You know what I'm saying? We got a good run game. This is different. And you know how they always say you're a great quarterback. And the way he turned the tide, like, you know, everybody, he played a bad game. No, he didn't. He had 12 pass attempts going into the fourth quarter. It was his coach not giving him a chance to throw the ball and doing uncreative runs, which led to that and undisciplined stuff. Like, I feel like the Bears came out way too hype. Way too hype. Like, they gave the whole first drive the Packers have, gave them everything. They were too juiced up. But we won that game in spite of that. Caleb turned up. And you can say whatever you want. You can't buy the clutch gene. We saw it last year. And everybody told Bears fans, oh, game-winning drives don't matter if you don't actually win the game. And I'm like, of course. But watch the game. You can see he's capable of doing it. In the Hail Mary game, he walked Washington down twice. Then this year, 6 comeback wins. For those of you who don't know, he tied Peyton Manning for the most comeback wins for a quarterback under the age of 25 in NFL history. He has a knack for it. And now I just saw when Dante was talking on the NFL Films Instagram, there's an NFL for the NFL for the mic'd up that's going to come out this week. And Rome is dapping him up. And Caleb is just calm. He said, I told you I got us. I got us. And all the teammates coming to him and they like, Iceman. Or Tyree Stevenson was like, oh, you Superman for real now. And now the NFL's embracing it. The NFL's calling him Iceman. That's his nickname now. And when I saw all the national media, national people tweeting, this was Caleb Williams' arrival. Shout out to the homie Tosa. Tosa texted me right at the game and was like, he said, oh, this is how I feel as being a fan of an adult quarterback. Welcome. And so, you know, this is his moment. So I think that was just the elation that you felt from Bears fans. People can say that we doing too much, whatever. Y'all kiss my ass. I don't care. It ain't got nothing to do with the season or that game. That was a realization that we got our guy finally.
Yeah, he's a star, bro. Like, say what you want. And then I'm looking at it, and I know the completion percentage conversation comes up a lot. He was 19 for 34. He had at least 5 throwaways. Like, Caleb throws the ball away a lot.
3 or 4 drops, bro.
And this is one of the moments. I mean, the drops are obvious, but this is one of those moments where you can't watch box scores. You have to actually watch the game. Because if you see the way he protects the ball, you see the way he'll dirt a screen if he knows it's going to be, you know, it could potentially be a turnover. It's going to be a negative play. He's moving on to the next play while he's avoiding these sacks. So, like, when I look at that, like, prime example, 19 for 34, take away 5 of those throwaways, and he, 19 for 29? Like, you know, it's numbers start to look a lot better. So it's one of those things where the kid is not losing us the game. Not only not losing us the game, he's going and winning. And I would I think it's going to get to a point where I know Ben Johnson loves the run game, as you should, with an offensive line like what we have. But we're going to get that game where Caleb throws the ball 45 times and lights this bitch up. Like, it's coming.
I think it's going to come next season. Yeah.
Like, it's we close.
Yeah, and I think, too, Bane, you said about, you know, we going to deal with this PTSD. That's just it. Like, we've been through a lot. I'm not saying the Bears PTSD is fully gone, but I think after Saturday, something was like, okay, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because they show as a team, this game ain't over to the final buzzer. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a shot to win it, they've been in every game outside of the first Lions game. You know what I'm saying? And then we can debate how that went. That's a completely different team week 2 than what they are right now. So that's why I love our chance. I went to sleep last night and I actually thought in my head, and I was like, they could win the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not trying to do a lot. I'm not saying they're going to win. I will say this: there's nothing they can do to piss me off for the rest of the year. I'm not saying, obviously, if and when they get eliminated, I will be disappointed. Season's been fun. I don't want it to be over. But in today's NFL, in this weird NFL season, where there's no Patrick Mahomes, probably not going to be Lamar Jackson. There's no Joe Burrow. Josh Allen's there, but there's nothing intimidated by the Buffalo Bills. And look in the NFC. Would it really surprise you that if in 6-7 weeks, when I'm heading out to Santa Clara, that the Bears are playing? Nothing would shock me. And I think the team believes now. And that's, we took the first three topics. I just kind of meshed them up into one because they kind of all went together. But it goes into the next topic, man, where did y'all see Ben Johnson's virtual? Did they air his press conference today? I don't know if it was just
I didn't see.
They aired it in Chicago, but I saw the checklist about what the goals are.
Okay, cool. So I was on the Zoom this morning, and basically he said, step 1 is complete. We clinched the playoffs. Step 2 now, win the division. Step 3, get the number 1 seed. Now that's why it's very important to me, because for those of you who don't know, scenario wise, all the Bears got to do win one more game, or the Packers lose one more, and the Bears are NFC North champions, which means they're guaranteed at the worst the 3rd seed and at least one home game in Soldier Field. In order to get the number 2 seed, very gettable. They just got to win the next 2 games and hope Seattle goes at the worst 1-1 in their final 2. Now Seattle goes to Carolina on the road this week, and then they head to San Francisco next week, which is probably going to be the Sunday Night Football game in Week 18. So that's a chance there. And then you get a week off, which allows Rome to get healthy, allows Kyler to get healthy, allows Luther to get healthy, and then everybody got to come through Chicago. And at that point, we'll see what happens. And this team is good on the road as well. So that's why I like their chances. It's going to be interesting.
I need my fellow short king, Bryce Young, brother. We need that dub.
we need that dub on Sunday.
We need that dub on Sunday, brother.
Because the Bears beat the Niners and the Panthers beat the Seahawks. The Bears going to beat 18 as number 1 seed. So there's a lot on the and the Niners got to play the Colts tonight, which I think is going to be an interesting game.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, when the dust settles, we'll be the 2 seed. I would love to be the 1 seed, but I think I'm leaning toward 2, just because I just think, they just put up the graphic. 89% chance to win the NFC North. Packers are fighting for their playoff life, so they got to really give it they all here. So I think,
and they might not have Jordan Love this week. Jordan Love is still in concussion protocol, and Malik Willis has an AC joint. That might be Scoop Huntley versus their 3rd string. Who knows?
Oh yeah, and that Christmas slate is nasty,
bruh. Oh,
it's so bad. It's so bad.
I don't even. But see, look, I just don't care about NBA regular season basketball. I might be a movie nigga on Christmas, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It might be a movie marathon day on Christmas when people over here. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, you got NBA teams going, combined for the 300 points. This shit is terrible now. But
I'll watch Detroit, Minnesota, because Detroit life's on the line. But them other 2 games, I ain't watching that.
Yeah,
I ain't watching that.
That 2 seed is gonna be good. Getting the game, we got the blue end zones back, bringing it back, and now we probably, like I said, probably gonna host a playoff game. And I would love the 1 seed just because Scott, my mom said it's a little warmer than usual on Christmas, but like if we can get
it's supposed to be 57 degrees on Christmas.
If we could somehow get a late January, 2 late January playoff games in Chicago, maybe get blessed with some snow. I know I hate to wish that on you, brothers, but in terms of having teams come here, especially having the Rams come to the Midwest and have to play in the snow as opposed to playing in beautiful, comfy SoFi.
Look, they said even though Christmas is supposed to be decent, they still said this is going to be one of the worst winters that we've had.
It's going to be the worst winters we've had in a long time. I've already shoveled 4 times in like a month. It's been decent right now. It was cold as hell against Cleveland. Like against Green Bay, it started off decent. By the time we was doing the post game, bro, it was the Hawk was out, bro. It's all with you. Make them come here. Make them come here. Bang, what's your thoughts on the number 1 seed before I get to our 2 division rivals?
I think it's well within reach. The Seattle Seahawks barely won that game that they had against the Rams, and we know the Rams, even though the Rams is to me, the Rams is still probably the best team in the NFC right now. They just got caught up in the game where they just lost, but they had coughed one up. So I mean, look, we're going up against teams who have their own shit to go up against. I would not be surprised if the Seahawks lose coming up this weekend, but of course I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears lost coming up this weekend, or even the Rams, right? And we did what Green Bay goes up against the Ravens, what we talked about. Even if they weren't dealing with what they were dealing with, and Lamar wasn't dealing with what he was dealing with, I think this is a winnable game for the Ravens as well. So the one thing I'll say is that the NFC is still, even though we have the most teams, I think, that have clinched a playoff spot in the NFC, it is still up for grabs for a lot of reasons. But of course, we want this to come through Chicago, to give not only the players who are injured a rest, Rome Odunze, Kyler Gordon, but people like TJ Edwards that probably needs another day of rest, or a week of rest. Tremaine Edmonds. Did they say anything about CJ? Did we get any word about what's up with CJ?
Nah, they got the day off, so I wouldn't expect nothing about CJ till at least probably after Christmas.
So yeah, well, either way it go, it'd be great to get everybody healthy, get everybody another week. Only thing I will say, though, however, is I feel like the Bears are a team that don't need a bye. For some reason, to me, I think the Bears are one of those teams that momentum will change after a bye. Like, look what happened after the bye we had here, right?
Byes are always tricky for any team in the NFL.
Right. So even though I would love it from a health standpoint, I feel like the Bears are a team that needs to play with momentum. And just because if they get the number 2 seed, I'll go on the limb and say if the Seattle Seahawks is the number 1 seed when we get to the playoffs, still all roads go through the NFC Championship game, because I think the Seahawks are a team that'll lose in the second round.
Now here's the only issue I have with the 2 seed. Because I had a question that said, who makes it, Packers or Lions? I think we all agree the Packers are going to get that, and not Detroit. Detroit is a shit team. If they don't, who they play this week? They play Minnesota, in Minnesota, a team that's already beat them at Ford Field, and then they play us. I'm more inclined to think the Packers are probably going to get that spot. But regardless, I've had this debate with Mikey. I've had this debate with my brother. Both of them are on this side. I'm on the other. At the 2 seed, you're going to play one of these 3 teams. The San Francisco 49ers again, Detroit Lions back-to-back weeks, or the Green Bay Packers for the 3rd time this season. I don't want to see – with division rivals, playing them 3 times is tricky. You might as well slam the stupid finish alert button right now. And I would prefer to play Detroit again more than I would rather play Green Bay. My brother and Mikey disagree because they think that just matchup wise, we match up better with Green Bay than Detroit. Detroit got a lot of speed. We got slow linebackers, slow secondaries that have a hard time going with J-Mo and Jahmyr Gibbs. But if there was 2 pills, that's a red pill, a blue pill, give me the pill that says Jared Goff and Dan Campbell's offensive play sheet. What do y'all feel about a potential NFC North rematch? Any hesitance about playing them again? And who would you prefer out of the 2 rivals?
I would prefer round 3 with the Packers. That's me personally. I think, not just banking on injuries, but with them losing Micah, with, that bad blood that we do have and the history, especially what you say we would probably play them in the 1st round, correct? Like,
if they make the playoffs, they'll be the 7th seed, and if we're the 2 seed, then they got to come in.
Okay, so yeah, making them come back to Chicago. I know people talk a lot about the old history, but I think with the way things have been happening for us this season, and we talk about turning the page, new era.
I'm be real last year too, because last year block field goal kick should have won, and then you actually won in Green Bay.
Yeah,
These been some close
Yeah,
games.
you've had 4 close games with Green Bay. We could have easily been 4-0 in those games, but I think it's the thing where, what better way to officially kick off the new era than beat Green Bay in the first round of the playoffs? Like, send them home officially. Like, you've already took the division from them. Now send them home. So no, I think I would want Green Bay, and I agree with everything Mikey said about the matchups. That could turn into a shootout, and they do have some dogs on that defensive line, and I do trust our offensive line to the point where I'm not worried about Caleb getting abused anymore. That don't really cross my mind. His escapability combined with the talent we have, I'm not worried about that. But we do have, as we've seen, slow starts. So we for a while we were averaging that. I think it was like 24, 26 points a game. But now we've seen this build up, and in the playoffs, the last thing you want them to do is get out there and stall. So I think for me, I want to see Green Bay again, bro. I actually, even though I let go of that years ago, but I think now it feels like a rivalry again. The coaches don't like each other, the players don't like each other. You saw Buddy try to take the cheap shot on DJ, and then get hit, get the game winner caught on him. Yeah, DJ was wearing them like a backpack. By the way, like I was shocked there was no flag.
That was also PI. By the way,
yeah, he was literally holding his face. But I mean, it is what it is. We won the game. But no, I want Green Bay round 3.
The famous last words.
I think I'll make that decision at the end of the season. Only reason why is because the last time I saw them against Detroit, we got our ass beat. But if I were to answer it, if I were to answer this now, I am in agreement with Dante. I want to see Bears Green Bay Part 3. I want to see the rubber match. I want to see them. I mean, just from also looking at this just from the standpoint of not only tradition, but for ratings. I think this would be a good opportunity for the Bears to the Bears-Packers rivalry to go in the direction that we want it to go, prove ourselves, and then get them charged up too. I don't think they get as charged up against Detroit or San Francisco, Detroit or San Francisco. I think with Green Bay, it's like, okay, all right, let's put our foot on their necks. Let's go ahead and put the nail in the coffin and stuff. So I would love to see them go up against Green Bay.
Yeah, and the NFL once said the NFL is Roger Goodell is happier than anybody that this is becoming a rivalry again. It's a cash cow, and it's a cash cow because we haven't seen it be at this level, bro. Like in every era, it's been domination. In the 80s, the Bears dominated them. In the 90s, up until 2004, Packers dominated. And we had that little 4-year patch where Lovey was there, where the Bears would have the upper hand more times than not. And then Rodgers starts playing again, and that was over with. This never been like this where I feel like it can be tit for tat. Now, we'll throw this caveat out there as Packer fans. I know you're not going to like this. It's tit for tat now. But if Caleb keeps getting to where we think it's going to be, we might just start kicking their ass. And maybe I'm putting too much dip on my chip, but
look, out for Packers fans my age, for Bears fans my age. This could definitely be that Don Majkowski years in the late 80s to where, hey man, y'all kind of decent. Y'all do got a quarterback that's actually cool, saying Jordan Love cool in that thing, but y'all ain't got this thing we got over here, fam. Y'all ain't got Jim McMahon. Y'all ain't got this defense. Y'all ain't got that. So it'll be competitive. Sometimes, I can expect to see more splits than it will be us getting swept. Let me just say that right there.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Let's just see. We wrap this up in like 15 minutes. Just quick prediction. I said on 7 Night at the House. Me and my brother both said it. We both think the Bears are going to get the 1 seed. What do you ultimately believe the Bears will finish seeding wise?
2.
I think they're going to get the 2 seed.
Now, do you think it's because they lose one of these next 2 games or Seattle doesn't lose?
I think it is. I think looking at Seattle's schedule compared to ours is more likely for us to split these next 2 games than us to win both of them.
Question: if we both go 2-0, Seattle gets the 1 seed, right? Or do we get the
yeah, I think Seattle got a better conference record than us.
Then I think even if we both went out, I do think they will end up as a 2 seed.
All right. We'll see how it is. Final topic. Week 16. Let's just talk about week 16 as a whole. Let's just, give any thoughts we've had on week 16. I got a couple week 16 observations. One, trick off Trev. Shut me up. Okay. Amazing performance in the Mile High. Did really good. Everybody made fun of Liam Cohen's Duval. Who's laughing now? That was an excellent hire. There was a point there that looked like it might fall apart. Remember they had where Trevor Lawrence wasn't listening to him, even shooting him out of his face. I think it was like week 4 or week 5 or something like that. And the way they come together as a team, dealing with injuries, no Travis Hunter for like the last month and a half, something like that. Put together, and there's a world where the Jacksonville Jaguars will get the 1 seed. They've had impressive wins going to Denver, beating them, and I still don't know what to think about Denver. For an 11-win team, I still don't know what to think about them. They got a great defense, obviously, but 1 minute I think Bomani Nix is good, the next minute I think he trash. Like I just don't know how to describe them, man. So that would be one I would say really, really impressed by the Jaguars. Was impressed by the Panthers. Giving it to the Buccaneers. I don't know what's going on with the Buccaneers. I don't know if Baker's still hurt. I don't know if maybe my man Bunny Colvin, maybe his people, the team don't want to hear him no more. I don't know. But they have been playing some terrible football these last couple of weeks. I think they've lost like 3 in a row, 3-4 in a row right now at this point. Obviously, they still have a chance to win the division. But the Panthers in the driver's seat right now. And I know some of you Panthers fans out there, the trade was equal. It was not. We ain't got to lie to ourselves. But I do believe that there is a world we can look like maybe you got your guy because he looks decent. I'm trying to think, is there anything else from this weekend? Thursday night football game might have been the greatest Thursday night football game I've ever seen. Very entertaining. The Rams, like you said, Ben, you think they're the best team. My only issue with the Rams, they can't stop a nosebleed defensively. They're just terrible defensively. The Steelers are a fake dangerous team to me. And this is why the Steelers are a fake dangerous team to me. They can run the football, and if need be, and if he needs to throw the football, Aaron Rodgers can still be Aaron Rodgers. They're going to need TJ Watt back because that defense was atrocious yesterday. Don't know what that's looking like considering he has a collapsed lung, so who knows when that's coming back.
They say he should be back next week.
Yeah, and okay, so that should be good for them. And this is another comment, but also kind of slightly Bears related. I think this season proves that Brian Poles, no matter what happens this season, I don't care if we hoist the Lombardi in 6-7 weeks. You should put all your chips in for Myles Garrett because that Baltimore, what they finna clean everything up in Cleveland. Everybody finna go, and it might even include Shador. I don't know, but Myles, have you seen the video of dude yelling at that cat? I'm gonna get you out of there. Ryan Poles, there's not a draft pick in our chamber that I wouldn't give up. Now that's a true F them picks player. And this is the situation to do that. Right. This is I'll settle for Max Crosby, but I feel like the Bears season has been too good for me to settle for Trey Hendrickson.
I will.
I'll settle for Max Crosby.
I will. 100%. We need a Julius Peppers type of move. We need that type of move.
Let me just finish this.
Go ahead.
Let me just finish. I am not at they have done too much this season for me to settle for Trey Hendrickson. I'll settle for Max Crosby, but I think you should exhaust every avenue to get Myles Garrett. He's already signed, so you just got to pay his contract. That's what I would do.
Maybe it's because I'm not the biggest Max Crosby fan. Maybe that's just why. I'm not the biggest Max Crosby fan. So that's why I'm like, I ain't selling for that. Myles Garrett, boy, let me know what you want. You got it.
I'll
let me know. Like, oddly enough, guess what I've been doing? I've been looking at mock drafts. Like, oddly enough.
You just can't break the habit.
I can't break the habit, y'all. I can't break the habit. I've been like, all right, if we finish here, we finish here. What they talking about?
I'm gonna say, go ahead and start looking at that second half of the draft, brother. That's what.
I've definitely been going to the ones that got like the second rounders and all that stuff, and I gotta hit I gotta go to the third joint to look at the back half. But I've been looking to see what they talking about. Okay, they say we need an offensive line. We did not hear Ozzie Trapello's name last week at all, and we've not heard his name. right? I think we're good on the left side. I even think we're good on the left side from a swing standpoint. We're good on the right side. The interior, thanks for playing. They was talking about Jeremiah Love potential. He ain't getting past Minnesota. So we're good, and we're good at the running back position. We're good at the tight end position. So when we look at this team, offensively, we're good for the draft, right? So we look at the defense, right? What we gonna do at the safety spot? Are we gonna bring back Byard? Are we gonna bring back Brisker, or are we gonna re-sign Brisker? We look at the cornerback spot. The cornerback spot is probably not only strong. Could you bring back
the strongest avenue?
It's the strongest avenue, and could you bring back a Nashawn Wright and plug him in? Can you get him on a cheap deal? Because somebody gonna offer him some bread just off of the year he had.
Or as Pappy tweeted, he said Tennessee gonna offer him the bag. You ain't never gonna hear his name again.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So
this is what I need. This.
Wow.
Not to cut you off, Bang.
No, go ahead.
This is what I need. Ryan Poles, I know you listen to me. Take one of these draft picks, brother. Get me one of these troubled 6'5", 285-pound defensive ends. I know you didn't like Jalen Carter, but if we can get a Jalen Carter-esque player on that line, preferably on the edge, but if we can get somebody in the middle, that would be great too.
Somebody who listens to a lot of Rod Wave.
Yes, to Bang's point, we need to spend a lot of those picks, in my personal opinion, on that front seven. Build that front seven up. You see, Philly has had a lot of success with the rotation. So if we overdraft on those positions and we hit on more than one player, that's great. That's excellent. It's less money you have to spend in the long term. In the short term. Even though, as we've been saying, Caleb's on his rookie deal, and before you got to pay him, you might as well pay somebody else. But I still think
you got one more year before them conversations start happening.
Yeah, I need, and we know how his pops was talking about ownership, and that Caleb is gonna ask for the fucking keys to the Sears Tower when it's time for him to resign, and they're gonna give it to him.
They're gonna give it to him. Yeah,
they're gonna give it to him. I ain't worried about that at all. That's one thing I know.
I want it to be renamed Caleb Williams Drive, not Lakeshore Drive. Caleb Williams Drive.
Yeah.
You on mute, man?
Nah, I just got some news that I saw some news that I saw that I had to pass over. We need help on the defensive line. Like, and that is Montez Sweat needs somebody on the other side. And seeing him these last couple of weeks, it has been like, okay, cool, we seeing some improvement. You've been getting out of it, but we need somebody on that other side. And Austin
Montez Sweat will get 10 sacks every year just with Myles Garrett breathing on that.
Man, oh my God. Like, oh my God. And it makes that interior so much better. I think we're good at the linebacker spot. Hell, I think we're not only good at the linebacker spot, maybe TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds getting hurt was the best thing that happened to Deron Jackson Jr. Like
DeMarco Jackson.
Yeah, DeMarco. Yeah, so we got somebody there. So yeah, I'm giving up 3 first rounders.
We could go for. I mean, if we give up 3 first, I still think we go defense with those 2nd and 3rd round picks. But I do think we need some more linebackers. We just need some more speed on defense. We're not fast enough. Like, don't get me wrong, we create turnovers.
Oh yeah,
but I just think from a speed level, we need to take that up a notch. Especially in Dennis Allen's scheme, because he blitzes his safeties a lot. He blitzes linebackers. He does, he tries to create pressure when we can't get there with 4. But until we get 4 dogs on the line, I think we need some more speed back there, especially with our linebackers. Hopefully, Tremaine or TJ are not cap casualties. We have to do some restructuring.
No, TJ's contract is decent. It's very team. And at this point right now, Tremaine Edmonds' his contract is cap friendly. I think, to your point, that's why with TJ Edwards, I'm not sure if he's fully healthy from the hamstring, because he's a lot faster than what we normally see him as. He's a lot faster. So that's why I think a year of health and everything, he will be back. He'll be back to the tackling machine that we are used to. Tremaine Edmonds is the person that I'm worried about. But when we got DeMarco Jackson, who has came up and they still, for some reason, they still love Reuven Hippolyte, and everything. So I do think we have some depth at the linebacker position that we didn't think that we had at the beginning of the season. That's going to help us out. If I'm the Bears, I'm looking at, is it worth to trade 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett? Yes.
Yes, in every language. So one, just quick, any week 16 observations, and then I want to close with a little talk on this Bear Stadium thing.
It's 3 real quick. One, my Super Bowl pick is really gone in shambles these last couple of weeks. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers has looked like crap these last couple of joints. The Jaguars. The Jaguars and the Bears are, to me, the two same teams. They got an offensive mind to come in and shore up things on a number 1 pick and everything. And they they both have opportunistic defenses in different ways.
The Bears do, which is crazy.
Theirs come from their pass rush. Bears come from turnovers and stuff. So seeing that has been surprising. Mainly because did we really think that Liam Cohen was going to be able to do that for trick off Trev? The last thing is man, I am so, even though it's injuries and a lot of that stuff, I'm wondering what the Bengals are going to do this offseason.
Yeah, it's an offseason.
Because don't get me wrong, I love T. Higgins and Jamar Chase together. But T. Higgins, we talking about trades and stuff. If I am the Cincinnati Bengals, I am testing the trade waters on T. Higgins to see what you can get so you can go take that and shore up that defense. Because that is the only thing you can do, because ain't nobody signing to Cincinnati. You're going to have to trade Jamar Chase. You're going to have to trade T. Higgins. You're going to have to trade one of those two to get some assets back. And if I am kicking the tires to see how much you could get back to get T. Higgins, because that man has all year, when he's been healthy, has been a monster. And quite honestly, he's looked way better than Jamar Chase has this year.
I feel you, but at the same time, Joe Burrow been sounding the real Andrew Luckish, so I don't know what the hell they gonna do.
Hey, he been sounding like a white kid Cuddy the last week.
He like, I'm tired, bro. Like,
when Jamar said, I don't usually check on Joe, but I'm about to start checking on him. That may be my antennas went off.
He be all right. Now next year, he won't. This year, hey, look, you've been hurt as much as that man has these last couple of years. I'll be depressed too. I be going through it for less. And he got way more money than I got. But they need some help on that other side. And the only way they're going to be able to do it, they're going to have to trade one of them two. And it ain't going to be Jamar. So T. Higgins, if you could get some good capital so you could go shore up that defense, and then you got to make sure you hit right with it, because Shamar Stewart did all that shit at the beginning of the year to be crap this year. So you got to get up in the front of that draft to try to get somebody. You're already going to be there, but what else can you get? You're going to have to trade one of the wide receivers. There's no way you can do it with keeping them two, because ain't nobody signing with Cincinnati.
Yeah. You got to be careful, though, because you see what happened to Abdul Carter. He's been terrible, but, I mean, I agree with you. You gotta pick your spots. For me, week 16, all I got is I'm focused on the Bears. We talking about, coming back, new era. Let's bring back that old school beef. Let's go out to the Bay and smack San Francisco. Like, it's one of those teams. Obviously, we were kids.
How that beef? Yeah, I mean, we weren't alive when the beef was in the 80s.
Yeah. We weren't alive when the beef actually mattered.
Yeah.
But bang, you could
slamming people on them bleachers.
Right, they was out there.
You can speak to the Niner beef.
The Niner beef?
Yeah, with the Bears fans. Because I say that's my focus for the week. Just let's bring that back.
Well, I mean, I'll say this much. Considering what we've dealt with the Niners in the 80s, even that little bit we had with them in the 90s. The NFL is good when the Bears are good. And when the Bears are good, they're going up against Green Bay and they're going up against the San Francisco 49ers. Just don't try to fight them in Santa Clara. Just get home
Oh,
safely.
no, you can stab. You can stab.
Get stabbed. Get home safely and everything. But I do feel, I mean, even though I said they could go 1-1, I do feel confident in this game. I do feel confident because you got a quarterback that will give it up. He will give up the draws. So if you are opportunistic defense and you going up against Brock Purdy, he will throw 2 of them.
Purdy give up the draws. I argue that Mac Jones has been better than Purdy this year. CMC hasn't looked quite like CMC like he used to. Doesn't mean he still can't go crazy. And we can put up points on this defense. They have a worse pass rush than we do. Now, granted, that's because Nick Bosa, Fred Warner's hurt. They got a lot, but you can score points on this defense.
Yeah.
The Tennessee Titans put up 28 points on them in Levi's like 2 weeks ago. So there's opportunity right there to do that. But like you just said, Dante, shout out my homie Tweez, all my Bay Area homies out there. They already hit me up now. I was like, first of all, beat Phillip Rivers before you start talking to me. Okay, that's number one.
Right.
But let's not put too much dip on the chip yet. Because I got a funny feeling about this Monday Night Football game, like there's something stupid gonna happen. And it would not surprise me if the Colts. But this game in Indianapolis?
Yes.
I think it's in Indy. I'm pressing super finish alert right now. Because Indy might miss the playoffs. So this is I'm pressing
What the hell?
super finish alert. So
my bad. The Chargers just asked me for $550 for these playoff tickets.
That's hilarious. But final topic, I just want to quickly talk about this, spend a little time on it because this came in today. So the Kansas City Chiefs are still going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, but in Kansas City, Kansas, not Kansas City, Missouri. Now we were informed on the live 79th and Hallis chat that Kansas City, Kansas is only 9 minutes away.
Yes.
From Kansas City, Kansas.
It's
Missouri.
like the board right off.
It's just across the state line.
Yeah. Now let me tell you why this is important. And Bang and Dante said this in the chat all last week. I thought that the Bears hammering Gary, Indiana was bullshit and that it was a negotiation plea. I no longer think that. After seeing that they got their stadium deal like that.
And you see the Bears just sent drills and stuff over to the spot.
Oh, what's Indiana?
Yes, they say, yeah. According to one of the papers, one of the Northwest Indiana papers, the Bears sent some drills and stuff over there to check out the spot. I don't think this bullshit, y'all.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because people don't, and like people, like you said, similar to how a lot of people don't know that that's right across the border. People don't realize that a lot of people in the South Burbs go to Hammond to get gas. Like it's right there. Like it's legit. Like a 5-minute drive from if you live in the South Burbs. So that's damn near. I would say, depending on where they put it, if they put it in Hammond, that's closer than Arlington. So it would be, you know,
yes, by a couple of minutes. Well, from us, I live. Yeah.
You live out west, right? My bad.
No. I live in the Plainfield Joliet area, so it's like 50.
I haven't lived out west for a long time.
I haven't lived out west, but no, it's like 50. So it's like 55 minutes.
You El Grant Negroes. I don't.
We'll mess with y'all Negroes later, but no, it's like 50-minute. Me and my wife were talking about earlier. It's like 50 minutes from where we stay at, compared to like 55 minutes. If you stayed like some for Arlington Heights, they was talking about on the news, and it is quicker to get from downtown to Northwest Indiana than it is for Arlington Heights. One, you just got to deal with all of those northwest suburb people,
all those racist Indiana police officers. But no,
you got to deal with that. But no, that will change. That will change because they ain't got to worry about money. They ain't got to worry about quotas heavily. They ain't got to rely on quota money.
If Gary's a possibility too. I can throw this phone and it'll land in Gary, Indiana. That's how
right.
Close
So here's the thing. Go ahead, Dante.
Gary is
like,
like,
to clean Gary up, bro.
No, I'm about to say you remember when Simba was talking to Mufasa, and Mufasa was talking to Simba. He told him about that shady area.
Rock. Yeah, that's Gary.
Gary, Indiana. I don't want to play no. I don't want to go to no damn Gary.
Have any of y'all seen Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze?
Yes.
All right. If we go to Gary or Hammond, we're Mr. Wesley. We own the state. We own that small town. Don't worry about it. We own that. Kevin Warren will be the mayor, the state senator, the governor of Northwest Indiana. The Bears will own all of that shit. This is not just a football play. This is a real estate play, ladies and gentlemen.
Like
And
Orlando put in the 79th Hallett Chat. We're going to do a live. I'm not going to hold you at Roadhouse Casino.
yeah. So when you and I knew they've been talking about this Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas thing for a while. They already have stadiums and stuff over that thing, like the soccer team and stuff over there too. But it's the same rules apply when we talk about the San Francisco 49ers who's in Santa Clara. The same rules apply when we talk about the Dallas Cowboys who's in Arlington. The same rules apply when we talk about the Cardinals who's not in Phoenix, or all of these other teams who have stadiums that's not in the city, that the name of it, the New York Giants and Jets and all, the same rules apply. I don't care. I just want a world-class stadium. And as long as I'm in this area, I could just go get on 55 to 80, see that Indiana sign, go right there, put that stadium next to Power 92, the Chicago Bears, #1 in the streets. I don't care. Just give me a world-class stadium. If Brandon Johnson, J.B. Pritzker, and all of that feel some type of way, then tell that Friends of the Beach or whatever them folks called and everything, the Friends of whatever they call, tell them to stop tripping. You don't run Chicago. We do. This is what they want. This is what we want.
The biggest gang in Chicago, the Park District?
Yeah, get them, tell them to shut the hell up. But you ain't. You can't. So we about to be in Hammond, Indiana, next to Power 92.
Power 92. I mean, when I realized Power 92 was in Hammond, Indiana, and that blew my mind. But like, I'm with you. That stadium could be on Moron Mountain, bro, from Space Jam. I do not care. Is it world class? And I told Mikey, he was like, well, it don't really matter because we ain't gonna be afford to be. I was like, speak for yourself, brother. By the time that stadium opens, if I can't afford a ticket, my career went dangerously wrong. Okay, so I plan on being there.
Yeah, I plan on being there. I don't know. I plan on being there.
I'm finna be the Bears Jack Nicholson. I'm finna put my credential up, and I'm just gonna be in the suites all the time. So,
hey man, don't let me win. Hey, don't let me win this Powerball. I'll get on the money.
Straight up, some money. Straight up. That's why this Chiefs thing is so interesting to me, because I think this is.
I just need a wing. Changing. I just need a wing. I need a spot for. I got some things that I want. I give you this $100 million if I win the lottery. This is the things that I won't do in return. I need my shit up there just as with Dick Buckets in them. I need that. We need a recording space.
We need a recording space up in there. I need access. I need to try out all the new stadium foods.
Yes, I need to be there for all of them.
I need to be there for all. I need tickets for when the Final Four come, WrestleMania come. All of it, you know what I'm saying? All the concerts, whatever. That's what I need. But
this suite is mine.
This is my suite. I will say this though. I feel like Chicago. The funny thing about Chicago, everybody's mad about the Bears potentially actually leaving the city. Me personally, like we all said, we don't really care. But Chicagoans, if you're not from Chicago, Chicagoans it's a big city, but to me, it's also like a small town mentality. Where if it's not Chicago, it has to be in Chicago. Brother, the Jets and Giants play in Jersey, okay? And if you've never been to New York City, that is not a close drive to where MetLife Stadium is at, okay? It is not. It legit took me 2 hours to get back from Queens, New York, after I did a Bears-Jets game like 3 seasons ago. It is far. This is all about real estate, bro, and politics. Kevin Warren thought this is Minnesota, and quickly learned this is one of the most corrupt political states in the country. Okay, it's bigger thing here, man. So that's gonna be interesting.
Real quick,
buddy who made Call of Duty died.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, dude that made Call of Duty passed away. Real quick, according to Front Office Sports, it's a $3 billion domed stadium. 70% of it is publicly funded. The Arrowhead lease.
Chiefs.
Yeah, for the Chiefs. Okay. And the Arrowhead lease expires after 2030. So this is literally similar to the Bears.
Yeah.
This is literally the similar situation.
Soldier Field lease ends in 2033.
Yeah.
And remember, KC, Kansas City, Kansas is also trying to snatch the Royals. They're trying to build them a downtown stadium.
Yeah, they literally. Have y'all been to Arrowhead?
Nah.
Yeah, they across the street from each other. They across the parking lot from each other.
Bro, they share a parking lot.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, they share a parking lot. It's the worst. I almost tore my ACL in the parking lot. Because you know the rocks you got in the parking lot, they ain't moved none of the rocks, bro. Them pebbles getting your sock. I almost tore my ACL tripping on them. They share a parking lot. So that meant that definitely it's gonna be a package deal, bro. Watch.
Well, that's what they was trying to do. That's what they was trying to do in Missouri. They was trying to do a package deal with both of them. And the Missouri was like, nah, we straight. And they was like, all right, well, we're going to do this separately. And that's when they went back to Kansas City, Kansas. And the Kansas State was like, I bet. So, look, if you are a Bears fan, I still believe that they're going to figure it out. I still believe they're going to figure it out. But that they're going to figure it out percentage is lower.
It's lower than it was 7 days ago.
Than it was when they said Northwest Indiana. Because I thought about common sense.
Yeah, bro, we about to go on this Super Bowl run, and they about to slap that stadium on Michael Reese and get him half of Bronzeville.
Right.
Call it a day.
That's we are the same. I still think right. I think the Bears are gonna be in Michael Reese. Illinois 100%. Gonna give them what they want and a little bit more.
You're gonna build you a little river walk right there.
Yeah, man, you build you a little river walk.
If you want a goddamn ferry from Michigan to over here, we're gonna go get you one of those.
But I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised.
That so you do think this playoff run will have a lot to do with this?
I think it's more than the playoff run. See, the Bears ain't gotta settle on nothing because the lease is over with in 2033.
Yeah,
right.
They ain't gotta settle on nothing. But I do believe it is in the best interest of the state of Illinois to get this out the way now. Then here's why. Because what's gonna happen when the McCaskey family say we can't afford this shit no more, and we sell to somebody else, they definitely gonna go to Northwest Indiana because they gonna own that small town. You better do it while the people that own the team are in love with this city, because the person that take it over ain't got that same love, Jack.
Yeah.
Pat Ryan just spent $800 million on the Everson Stadium for the Wildcats. You think he got the money to do it, but he ain't gonna be like, let me go do this $3 billion to get this stadium, because it'll be $3 billion by the time y'all do that. They gonna find somebody who got the money to not only build their own stadium, but I'll pay to get out this lease early so I won't have to deal with y'all last.
There's only one man that can fix this. We need Jeff Bezos to buy the Chicago Bears.
You gonna start having Amazon drop-off centers in the stadium?
Absolutely.
Motherfucker just
and they gonna
Amazon drone.
Yo, you know them Bears hoodies that Jonathan Owens made that you see everybody on the team wearing now. I bought one because they advertised on Black Friday. They suck at me. So
they had that bitch on. Yeah, they had that joint on Amazon. And I was like, yeah.
It's a nice hoodie. It's a nice hoodie. They suck at me. You gonna start buying stuff in
but
there.
It's that one. It's that one white joint on the Bears website. It's a cocaine white Bears hoodie. I was like, yeah, I might have to go cop that.
Yeah, I'm finna buy that. I definitely about to buy that good, better, best crew neck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they look at them taking our money. But that is all we got for y'all today on this episode. This was the non-holiday holiday special because we didn't talk shit. Well, we talked a little bit about the holidays, but we will be back January 9th for the next episode, next show, as we will prepare for Wild Card Weekend. So by then we will know who the Bears are playing in the first round. I will do a weekend recap January 4th. I will not be doing shit over this next 10 days, but watching holiday movies and drinking alcohol spiked eggnog. So thank you to each and every one of y'all who have watched this show this year, commented, listened, wherever, subscribe. We appreciate all y'all. We can't do none of this without y'all. Thank everybody who subscribed to the Patreon. And let's just keep it up. Let's take it to another level in 2026. Shout out to all our guests. Shout out to Courtney. Courtney's not here, but we're going to give a round of applause for Courtney for her contributions to the team this year. So hope everybody has a great holiday. Y'all have a great holiday, even though I'll be talking to y'all niggas in the chat. Y'all have a great holiday. And We'll holler at y'all at the beginning of the year. We up out of here.